Time now for an earnings alert. Let's bring back in Jenny Horne, co-host of Next Gen. All right, we've got some fresh numbers from MasterCard. It's earnings out. This comes in the context of this week, the stock hitting a new all-time high. Take us through some of the numbers and your takeaways, Jenny.
I know, Dan, the resiliency of both MasterCard and Visa has been amazing. And I know that the Capital One merger is trying to take a page of that success. But frankly, right now, there's still a two-horse race, it seems like, in the race to dominance in some of the banking world as far as consumers are concerned. So we did see they saw earnings rise in the fourth quarter. They also reported a pretty substantial jump in cross-border credit card use. They did see a net income of around $3.34 billion, or roughly $3.64 a share, comparatively to the $2.98 a share reported a year ago. On an adjusted basis, earnings did come in around $3.82, also higher than the $3.20 roughly reported a year ago, also beating expectations pretty handedly. We saw revenue that rose again, also on a year-over-year basis. $7.5 billion was roughly that total, fueled by their payment network with a 20% jump in cross-border volume. Operating expenses, though, did remain elevated at about 12% during the quarter. They did also say that gross dollar volume, or the total value of all transactions, was around $2.6 trillion compared to $2.4 trillion a year ago. And did say they've issued now 3.5 billion MasterCard and Maestro branded cards as of the end of fiscal 2024. So a lot to like here. And I also think that with cross-border transactions, it's something we hear a lot from a name like American Express, who tends to really cater itself to more of that affluent traveling consumer. I also think we're seeing that strength reflected in MasterCard, though. It's not just a trend that's benefiting, of course, American Express, which had a pretty dismal reaction to its earnings. This, though, signaling some pretty nice strength, and again, showing the difference in which American Express is typically more of a holding company, more of a custodian. This more of just, benefiting from the various swipes in which we do not seem to stop doing. So I think that if you're looking at any barometer of strength with the consumer, this would tell you that we are full speed ahead.
Great perspective. Jenny Horne with a breakdown on MasterCard numbers off the latest quarterly results. The shares are higher in the pre-market. Thanks a ton, Jenny, co-host of Next.